Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 2nd. You start with this Envision card. It says, do you know exactly what you are wanting? And are you acting consistently towards achieving it? Maintain a clear vision of what you want, and you will be unstoppable. There you go. You have this retirement card. It says, working hard can be a thing of the past. I think you had that card with me recently, that retirement card. And I do think that it is an amazing time for you to focus on efficiency, especially this year. Jupiter will enter into your sign. So, yes, I think that becoming more efficient in work or coming up with better ways of working could be very helpful for you, Leo. Probably make your life a lot better, which is good. And I think that you have this beginner mind card as well. And this beginner mind card is about like learning new things, learning new ways of working, which also would be beneficial. In your current general energies, you have the Two of Swords, the Strength card, and the Empress. You show up here like 10 times, here and here. So you are showing up in a strong position whenever you show up as yourself, puts you in a position of power and strength in the reading. The Two of Swords is about just making the decision here, Leo, to do something in your life. Sometimes, I don't really think it's like a hard decision that we always have to make with the Two of Swords, but sometimes I think we just have to make the decision to become unstoppable. Maybe that's the decision you're making with that card, that Envision card that says you will become unstoppable. The Two of Swords, she's thinking like this or that, but she has this new island behind her. And I always say it's my card of third place solutions. You have the Chariot here. You have the Sun and the Star, which is like fame and fortune. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to become famous, but definitely very good for just, accomplishing great things. The Chariot wants us to become unstoppable, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You have the Strength card, which is you. I don't know, for like the last 900 years, you probably have been getting these cards that say you need to watch your words, Leo, for whatever reason. The lion here, it is you, but it does represent your inner strength. This lion represents like your inner critic or your inner voice, and needing to take control of that inner voice, which, like I said, has been a very long-term message for you. And so, taking control of that inner voice is what this card wants you to do. I also, you have this card and you have the Magician. Both cards, they have the infinity symbol above their heads. The lady on this card, and then, of course, the Magician above his head, he has the infinity symbol. And I do think it would be a good time for you to open up to, like, the infinite solutions that exist, or, infinite possibilities as well. It's kind of like popping into my head as possibilities. You also have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is building, leaving a legacy, but it kind of is also a card of a lot of possibilities. It's just abundance. Some people say that the Ten of Pentacles, that these pentacles are raining down on these people. Kind of is making me think about you, like all these possibilities falling around you. I would really love to see like the Seven of Cups pop up in this reading when we clarify, for example, because I think it would say that you are, again, opening to possibilities that could lead to more victories in your life. And you have that Envision card. Seven of Cups is a good card for envisioning things. I think we can get it carried away with the Seven of Cups, but I also think if we use it, we can kind of get some benefits. So we'll see what comes up. You have the Empress, so a ton of abundance in this reading. Again, the Empress has been, I wouldn't say just the Empress, but, a lot of stuff about self-care has been coming up for the past couple months. And the Empress, sure, says you're very attractive at this time, Leo. So, sure, if you're looking for love, get out there. There's a lot of attention. Star, Sun, this card. Whenever these three come up in a reading, to me, that is my glow-up combination, is Sun, Star, Empress. And so there could be a little bit of a glow up happening, but I also feel this is about you choosing to have a glow up more than anything. I think this reading is all about you. It's not really talking about love or anything else. That could be a side effect to what you're creating here for sure. But I think that the better thing to focus on would be taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, nurturing the things that you care about, and also working on becoming unstoppable, like developing that unstoppable vision for yourself so that you can actually do it and accomplish great things. That's what this reading wants you to do for sure. So let's see. With the Two of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you, it's for you. So again, more about becoming unstoppable. I think it would be a good month, not just week. Like, yes, I understand this is a weekly reading, but I would say it would be a good month, the month of February, to claim something, to say, like, this is mine, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, Leo, but I would, like, pick something and claim it with this Seven of Wands. And then I would start acting as if you have it, right? With the Magician. And with the Magician and Chariot, we have to be in the energy of what we want to get it. We have to be the thing. And that's what I would work on here. With the Strength card, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, Five of Cups would be thinking too much about the past, like things that you lost in the past. He's grieving the loss of his taste for wine. The story of the card is that he doesn't even enjoy wine any longer, but he's sad because he has lost something that he can't get enjoyment from anymore. And so the Five of Cups wants us to practice gratitude. It wants us to be grateful for the two cups we do have. Then we get this bridge and this castle over here, and you have the Empress here as well, which is great. The Empress is a great card for practicing gratitude. So being grateful for what you have and the opportunities that are in front of you will probably create a little bit of a turnaround for you. With the Empress, you have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, something is like dead, done, over with from the past. I feel you just need to start like nurturing the new things that you care about. Ten of Swords is also like a blessing in disguise. And one thing I will say is I've seen a lot of this blessing in disguise energy this month of February. Not really in this week of readings, but just in the month in general, like the monthly readings, obviously. And I think that it's because we are having some major planetary shifts. Neptune and Saturn will both be back in Aries this month. Neptune already is in Aries. Saturn will be February 13th. Whenever we have major planets switching signs, we go through major changes. And, again, you could be closing out cycles. I really think that Neptune moving from Pisces is the big one for you. For whatever reason, as I've said to you before, I think Neptune in Pisces really affected Leo on a deeper level. So, again, I think that you're going to start seeing that things that didn't work for you was actually a blessing. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Freedom card. It says released, unburdened, and new beginnings. There you go. You have this Beginner's Mind. It says presence, curiosity, openness, and humility. Yeah, a lot of people have had like the Page of Swords, for example, which is not really a new beginning card, but it is a card of curiosity. So I do feel that, being curious about new directions with the Chariot is what this wants you to do. I absolutely think that Leo should be setting themselves free from hard work. You had that card that said working hard can be a thing of the past. But I think you have to change your mindset, basically, and allow yourself to not work hard to get something that, to accomplish whatever the Ten of Pentacles is for you. And it's like saying allow life to be easy, which I know I've said to you before. But clearly, this is like your message for 2026, I would say, is to allow your life to be easy. And yeah, maybe you have to learn new things with that Beginner Mind card, or maybe you have to, put in a little bit of work to educate yourself on how to make things easy, but you can. You have the Sun, the Chariot, and the Four of Cups. The Sun is you, Leo, again, showing up in a strong position. The Sun is a card of ease. This baby or child is meant, is carrying this banner, and the banner is meant to look like something that's very heavy, but the baby is carrying it easily. So the whole point of the Sun is to make things easier. It's also a great card for your inner child, and you have that Beginner's Mind card, which obviously wants you to learn and explore and be curious and open. These are all things that children do. So with the Sun, we have this wall right here, and the wall is the wall we all put up against our inner child. So the Sun wants us to be more playful, have fun, be curious, be excited about new opportunities and new ideas. And if we do all that, good things will happen. This is a very good reading. So, the Sun kind of makes the whole entire reading more positive, but it's already positive, which is good. You have the Chariot. The Chariot can be a victory or big success coming in for you and charging towards a victory. He's leaving the city behind him behind. Again, I'm a big fan of you fixed signs, setting yourself free. And this could be setting yourself free from like the expectations of society. That city, everybody is the same inside that city. Everything is the same. Every day is the same. That is why he is charging away from the city, because he's like, I got to get out of here. Everybody's the same. I need something different. So I feel that you are ready for something different in life, or new experiences. You're ready for adventure or expansion. And that's what I would move towards with the Chariot. I do think it would be a good time to get in touch with yourself here. I think that, if you're having a hard time deciding like what to do next, it might be because there are too many external influences in your life, like other people, other people's ideas, their expectations of you, things like that. To have a true glow up, it's like people who glow up, they glow up because they're different than everyone else. No one who's exactly the same as everybody else glows up, right? So you're clearly setting yourself apart here. You have the Four Cups. Four Cups, again, he's experienced the same thing at least 3 times before, and now he's getting a new opportunity to have new experiences. He just needs to apply what he learned from these 3 experiences to this 1 cup, and he will have a different outcome. And really, I think that's what the first 2 rows, really, maybe the whole entire reading, that's what it's talking about. It's like you're thinking about trying something again. We see a lot of stuff about the past in this reading. Even in your next row, you have this card that says the past on it. You have the 5 of Cups. He's grieving the past, kind of. 10 of Swords. It's like all saying to me that you're trying to have a different outcome with something that you've already experienced. I wouldn't really call this a second chance reading yet. That could change in a minute if we see like the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, for example, something like that. 6 of Cups even. So I don't really think it's a second chance, but, it's almost like you're, trying to do something again, but you're hoping for a different outcome. Here you go. With the Sun, you have the Judgment card, which would be a second chance, kind of. These people are rising up out of these coffins. The coffin is their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. This is their higher self angel right here, and he is calling them into a new life. The coffin is what they have to leave behind. Judgment would also kind of be a second chance card. Again, I don't think you're like giving a person a second chance here or anything like that, for example, but you definitely could be trying something again that failed for you in the past, and the reading definitely gives me those vibes. With the Chariot, you have the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's all about you, this reading, for sure. This reading is saying, Empress, 9 of Pentacles, pre-Empress. The better you take care of yourself, the better things will go. And so, again, putting yourself first is really, really important with both of these cards because, it's all about, again, putting yourself first. If you're doing too much for other people, then you're not putting yourself first. And so I think, anything you decide to do this week needs to be something that you want to do. It's like taking care of yourself enough to do things that matter to you. And that's what I would do with this energy. Very abundant reading. So 9 of Pentacles is also gratitude and luxuries. The more gratitude you express or practice, the better things will go. And this has been coming up for you a lot. So I think 2026 would be a good year to develop some sort of gratitude practice or something because you'll just attract more of it to you. With the 4 Cups, you have the 9 of Swords. Everybody's had the 9 of Swords this week. There is, I don't know, February I think is a good month personally, but there's something about this week, the second, that is about like needing to escape something or, 9 of Swords is just too much the same. And again, the reading does talk about this a little bit here, Leo. The 9 of Swords is like Groundhog's Day. It's like having a nightmare, waking up and being stuck in a nightmare. And the whole point of the card is that he's in pain, but he's not in enough pain to make a change. And the 9 of Swords says, don't let it get to that point. If something is causing pain, even if it's not physical pain, it could be some other type of pain, like a pain in the ass, then I think it's time for you to change whatever it is. For some of you, I feel this is about getting answers. If you've been thinking about something for a long time, I think it's time to take action on whatever that is. And it could literally be anything. Like you might be wondering, am I capable of building this idea or this business? Or am I capable of fixing my health or doing something else? I feel like the 9 of Swords is saying it's time to stop thinking about it. It's time to go for it and do it and make it happen and just see what happens, right? Next, in the area of what's coming, messages from your future self, you have this Moonbeams card. It says focus. You have this Moon Memories. It says the past. I would not focus on the past. As a matter of fact, I think this reading is saying it's time to focus on, the life that you don't have yet and to start working towards it and to let go of the past, really. 10 of Swords, 4 Cups, the Strength card, right? It's like, yeah, sure, maybe you haven't been as successful as you want yet, but the Strength card wants you to change your words and start speaking as if you already have the things you want. You also have the Magician in this row. The Magician is exactly the same. The Magician says you need to tell the story that you want to be living, and then you will live it. You have the Star, the Magician, and the Queen of Pentacles. The Star is about having a North Star. You get this card with me a lot. I do think you're probably going to continue to get this card with me for a long time because we have Pluto and Aquarius, your opposite sign. And so I think Pluto and Aquarius is why you get these readings that talk about like glowing up, right? Or standing out, or, kind of like having a big vision for your life. Even if you're, again, I don't care how old you are, even if you're like 89. Someone asked me that a couple weeks ago, and they said, how does this apply if you're 89? I'm like, well, and I said to that person, you're not dead yet, so you still have time. If you're not dead, you still have time, right? Even if it's only a year, right? It's like, yeah, sure, maybe that person's going to fall down the stairs and break their hip tomorrow, but it's like, I don't know, wasting a lot of time asking those questions, right, Leo? So it's like, even if you think you are going to fall down and break a hip next week, it's like, well, you have a week left, so get your ass moving, right? Because it's like, why not enjoy that last week of life, is what I say. Why not, right? And you probably have a lot longer than a week, so I would get moving towards that North Star goal. You have the Magician. The Magician is pointing towards the Seven of Swords here, which, yes, Leo, I am a big fan of the Seven of Swords for you. Seven of Swords is about doing things in a different way. Nine of Swords, you've been doing things the same way for too long. So definitely time to develop some new tactics, techniques, whatever, for whatever you're trying to accomplish. Time to move different, if you're a Leo. And I think a lot of you will be doing that. I think the Magician and the Star, Star is like a big picture card. It wants you to take a top-down view of your life. The Magician has all these tools in front of him here, and so he has mastery over all the suits in the tarot. For you, Leo, I think you need to like take stock of the tools that you have gained in life, like the experiences you've had. I'm a big believer that there's a little bit of gold in every experience, positive and negative, that we've had. If we look at those experiences, like literally maybe you need to write down everything you've been through on a piece of paper and then think about, what can I get out of this situation? What did I learn? It's like taking stock of the tools that you have gained, whether you realize it or not, could make you extremely powerful moving forward, right? With that Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about moving different, and it's showing up in the good stuff, so we'll talk about that in a second. Leo, also make sure to like and comment, really helps me out. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about resourcefulness. I do think this is what Leo is over, basically. Queen of Pentacles is not bad, but she is kind of my card of just like scraping by sometimes, where it's like she, maybe she's not suffering financially, but, it's like maybe she also doesn't have enough to do some things that she really does want to do. And so she might, like I said, she might be able to have some things, and, she might not be struggling completely, but, things could always be better. And so I feel, and I don't hate the Queen of Pentacles for you or anything, but I do feel just intuitively that this is the energy you're trying to get past. It's like you have goals, you have things you want to accomplish. Money would help you accomplish those goals. And you have the Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like you're trying to get more resources, right? And again, with the Magician, looking at the tools that you've gained for years might be very helpful for you, because, again, you never know. Maybe you have some skill you don't realize you have that could make you extra money on the side, that could help you do the things you want to do or whatever, right? I do think we're in a time where we do have to stop making things harder. Like that card says, working hard can be a thing of the past. The problem is, I think you are definitely one of the signs that has had to work hard. So it's like hard to go from working hard to not, especially if it's been years of that. It's like you've trained your brain to think that things have to be hard. And it can also be hard if you have already set up a process. Like, let's say you have a business that does require hard work, and to keep it going and to pay your bills, then it can be hard to like make the shift into something that doesn't, because obviously you have to pay your bills. But it's like, I think about this a lot, Leo, and, it's like, how can you, even if you still have to work hard, it's like, even if you can just start slowly building something over here that doesn't require hard work, even if you can only give it like 1% a day, eventually you're going to start tilting those scales, right? And I feel like this reading is kind of like encouraging you to think about that. With the Star, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, Knight of Swords says no jumping to conclusions. You get the Knight of Swords with me a lot, I'm pretty sure. So Knight of Swords can be a card of jumping to conclusions, making assumptions, needing to not rush, needing to not be too hasty. Here, you have two cards, and I will absolutely take both. With the Magician, you have the Seven of Cups. You have the World as well. yes, very happy to see the Seven of Cups here for sure, because I think that, like I said at the beginning of the reading, I would have loved to see the Seven of Cups in this reading, because I feel you have to give yourself options, and it's like you are opening up to, other ways of doing work, which will be very beneficial. The World is an accomplishment or achievement as well, so could be accomplishing great things. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. Told ya! Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. This card of poverty consciousness, all those limitations, all those things that I said on that Queen of Pentacles. So, to me, this is just confirmation from the universe. Again, I think this is what you're trying to get to, obviously, is, true wealth, security, not having to, just scrape by, plain and simple. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Spirit World card. It says, your spirit guides are sending you helpful people and opportunities. Yeah, Seven of Cups. You have this Libra card. It says new love on it. It says a new romantic relationship is unfolding that will be deeply meaningful to you. Sure. We don't really see a lot of love here necessarily, but, of course, love is always available to us. So, again, if you're looking for love, could be a person coming in for you. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. Eight of Pentacles is like straightforward, diligent work. Again, he has a simple process that he is following through on. He only has one more pentacle to complete, and then he will get his result. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. So again, number one, if you feel like you're getting a second chance at something, like we said earlier, like if you're going to try something again, Eight of Pentacles says you've actually already done a lot of work. A lot of work that makes the difference, right? It's the only example I can give you is like YouTube, right? It's like if I started a new YouTube channel, it would probably grow very quickly. I already have a bunch of tools that I have learned over the years, right? So same thing for you. It's like if you're about to do something, again, doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't even have to be money related. It could be love, could be your health. It's like you probably already have a lot of skills that it's like you're ahead in the race. It's like imagine if you were about to run a marathon and they drop, but you get to start 100 feet away from the finish line. It's like that's what you need to realize is that if you're thinking about starting something new, it's like everybody gets to start 26 miles away and you get to start 100 feet away from the finish line, right? So I think you're probably much more ahead than you think. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in life. All fixed signs get the Ten of Pentacles all the time because I think Uranus and Taurus has triggered fixed signs into wanting to create true freedom or wanting to build and leave a legacy in life. So a lot of you are probably more focused on the big picture, focused on, creating something like a more significant life. And yeah, I would just encourage you to do it. It's like I think Leo doesn't want to be bored anymore. I think Leo, I don't know if you've been bored, but, it's just like going through the motions is what it feels like to me. So maybe your life has just felt like going through the motions, just like, waking up, doing the same thing. It's like you want more excitement. It's like you want more something. And I feel you're trying to create that. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about doing things differently, especially in the good stuff. He's sneaking away from this army in the background with these swords, and he's avoiding war by doing things differently. And so the Seven of Swords wants you to come up with unique solutions to whatever you're working on. And clearly you have the skills, right? Magician, Eight of Pentacles. You clearly have the ideas to set yourself apart. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is alchemy. And, it even says, like, how can you turn something hard into something that is easy, right? And I don't know. You're going to have to do your research on whatever you're working on here, Leo. But there are probably easier ways to do things. And I would just practice alchemy to make it happen. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, you're entering into a time of expansion here, Leo, for sure. Again, I'm not saying things are going to be super easy for you right now. I think you need to make things easy. There's a big difference between those two things, right? It's not saying, oh, life is going to be easy. But it is saying, hey, Leo, there are solutions that could make your life a lot easier. And I think you need to think about things that you have been thinking about that have been hard, that you have been making hard up here, right? And, you just need to go look for solutions. I also think, what I'm getting here is like easy answers. There could be some very easy answers to things that you've been thinking about. I always think about like people who, come to me And they're like, I've liked this person for 6 years. Should I tell them that I like them? And I'm always like, it's like you've been just thinking about something for 6 years. You've been making things very difficult, right? It's like, wouldn't it be much better to have an answer, even if they say no? It's like, then you could set yourself free. It's like, I'm not saying it is love. I'm just using that as an example, Leo. It's like, I think there's answers you could get on things that you've been thinking about forever. And it's like, you just go get the answer, right? Just end the madness, plain and simple. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. Love it. Especially in a reading like this. This is a very good reading. Actually, the readings have kind of sucked this week, except for yours. So, I don't know. I think that's a good thing, Leo. And, I think the Queen of Swords is like clarity, so you could be getting clarity. You have the Sunrise card. It says new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. Love it. Definitely could be some sort of fresh start for you. You have this March card and this angel. It says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. So there you go. You are protected at this time. Love it. You have this lion, you, again. It says time to act. Yes, the whole entire reading is saying it's time to take action. You have this woman card. It says dealings with relationships with a woman. It could also be you. You don't have to be a woman. It's just sometimes I feel like these people cards are just talking about the person I'm reading for. You have this dolphin card. It says financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Eight of Pentacles. We talked about this. Again, if you're getting the opportunity to like revisit something or finish something up again, I would definitely take it. You have this moon. It says changes in your life. Yes, definitely some positive changes in this reading. So pretty simple, Leo. I love it. Like I said, best reading this week for sure. So thank you for being here. Make sure to like, comment, do all the good stuff, and definitely enjoy your week.